Caterina Vitozzi. Caterina, thank you for joining us. We're going to kick off then with the left-leaning paper, Libération.
Yes, and making the front page of Libération, tax, nothing certain, but death and taxes making the front page. Social VAT, they call this the gentle return. These are VAT on products. That was an initiative brought in by the former president Nicolas Sarkozy back in January. Now, at the time, the socialist government the socialist candidate, I should say, was outraged. They said, you can't do this. What are you doing? It's such an unfair tax. As soon as we get into power, we're going to scrap it, which is something that they did actually do. But now, according to Libération, that's a position which is somewhat faltering, and there may even, in fact, be a bit of a U-turn on the cards, according to the paper. They say that it's one of the only ways the government feel that they can manoeuvre and recoup some of this budget deficit in a way to try and balance the books a bit more. So they say it's a gentle return. By that, the paper means it's going to be slightly interesting to see how the government can sort of backpedal without ruffling too many feathers within its socialist parliamentary members.
Okay, and meanwhile, financial daily Les Echos. Up next.
Yeah, they're counting the cost of the potential closure of France's oldest nuclear power plant, which is in Alsace. You can see the headline there. There's a storm brewing at EDF against the Fessenheim closure. Now, this, again, comes back to the French government. This was in François Hollande's campaign manifesto. He said, this is something we're going to close it. By the end of 2016, Fessenheim will be shut. There were a few concerns about security there. However, the executives at EDF and the people that actually work at the plant, they say, according to an interview given to Les Echos, that they don't understand. They think there's no security issues, and in fact, closing this factory will cause over 2,000 job losses. And they say at a time when unemployment is so high, it's completely incomprehensible to shut this plant. So they're asking the government to reconsider, and according to Les Echos, that's a sentiment shared by all nuclear power plant employees across France. And of course, this isn't just a French issue. It's going to be something which has repercussions across Europe and the world.
Okay, well, on to a different story now. World Alzheimer's Day. That's getting a lot of attention in the French press
Absolutely.
today.
As you say, a lot of attention. We're going to focus on a particular article in Le Parisien. Their headline is quite emotional. Memories, they say, are more important than pills. This, as you say, is World Alzheimer's Day. And the paper is saying that instead of just medicating people, perhaps there should be more holistic approaches to dealing with people with Alzheimer's in France. Over 3 million people are affected by this illness in France. The paper says it's really the illness of our age. As societies are getting older, it's becoming increasingly more prevalent. And the paper and journalists from it go in depth. They go to a retirement home in the south of France, which is trying these slightly different holistic approaches, encouraging, as I said, the memories rather than just medicating, as you can see in the headline. Things like therapeutic gardens are becoming very popular. Things that improve quality of life rather than just writing people off as ill.
Okay, interesting research going on there. Now to a long-awaited exhibition at the Louvre Museum in Paris.
Yes, long-awaited, 11 years in the making. The Art of Islam under the Spotlight. This is a new wing, in fact, a whole wing dedicated to Islamic art at the Louvre Museum in central Paris. It's cost millions of euros to build. It's got thousands of objects from the Islamic world, both that have been made sort of in the West and further east. Of course, the timing of this opening is somewhat prescient, what with the reaction currently to the anti-Islam cartoon. However, a closer look in Le Figaro, we can see that there's so many objects that are really objects of both sort of aesthetic importance but also cultural importance. And they say this really is a visit not to miss.
Well, and that opens on Saturday, so a bit of a sneak preview there. And finally, something for French cinema lovers.
Yes, well, if you're a fan of the French director Luc Besson, he's got another crazy dream. That's what the culture section of the Le Figaro call it. They say this is a crazy dream. It's his Hollywood in Paris, a huge new cinema complex, including shooting sets, film studios, which is opening just outside the capital, open today for one day only for the public. So if you're a film goer, I'd go and check it out now before it closes its doors and gets to business.
1 day only. Wow, that is interesting. Thank you very much indeed, Caterina, for that look at today's French newspapers. Well, still to come here on Live from Paris, Belarus.